Namaste. Welcome to the sixth edition of the Global Festival of Oneness, celebrating the life and works of Adi Shankara, and organized by Indica Moksha. My name is Anuradha, and I'm the host for this session. Let us start with a prayer. Sadashiva Samarambham, Shankaracharya Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Paramparam. We're very pleased to have with us Brahmachari Ved Chaitanya, who is going to talk on the subject, Who Am I? Insights from the Nirvāṇa-ṣaṭkam. Before we get on to the talk, I'd like to introduce the speaker. Chaitanya ji comes from a family steeped in the Chinmaya mission. He left his work at TCS to follow his heart, and he completed a 2-year residential Vedanta course from Sandipani Sadhanalaya, Mumbai, and received Brahmacharya Diksha in 2013. He was then posted at Chinmaya Mission, Navi Mumbai, and is presently serving at Chinmaya International Foundation, Kochi. An impactful orator, cheerful, kind-hearted, and a scholarly student of Vedanta and Sanskrit, his particular interest lies in the application of Vedanta in daily life. He has completed his post-graduation MA Sanskrit from Chinmaya Vidyapeeth and is currently pursuing a PhD. Welcome, Chaitanya ji.
Thank you, Hari Om. We'll start. सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवम्। Hari Om. Welcome to this session of the Oneness online conference. Today we are going to deal with the topic of who am I, especially taking the insights from Bhagavan Śrī Ādi Śaṅkarācārya's one of the most famous compositions called Nirvāṇa-ṣaṭkam. This question, who am I, is probably the most fundamental question. We all are born as human beings, and we all have a very special ability which other beings do not have, and that is the ability. See, body, all other beings also have got, animals, birds, insects, all of them have got. They also have got mind. For many of them, the mind is even probably more developed than us. For some of them, mind is still there. But what they lack and what we have is the ability to think. And this ability to think has to be used for the right purpose. Though we say that in the world we have done, as human beings, we have done so much of progress. No, you will not see such kind of progress happening for the animals, birds, etc. If a particular bird makes a particular kind of nest, then it will make the same kind of nest it has been making for last 2000, 3000 years. There is no upgradation, isn't it? But that doesn't happen with us humans. We keep upgrading ourselves. Why? By using this extra faculty that God has given us, and that is called intelligence. And therefore, the human being who was staying in the caves earlier has now come and habituated in the cities, has created homes. No, we see the progress. Earlier, no, from the cave, then they started making houses of grass. Then they started making of stones. Then they started making of bricks. And now we live in a concrete jungle, houses made up of cement concrete. Now more things are happening. If you see in that field, earlier, no, everything has to be built in one place. Nowadays, everything can be built in small pieces in different places. They just bring everything together and assemble there. So you will see one day there is nothing, next day the entire house would have come in that place. No need of doing one slab and then give water and then put another slab. No, why? Because we have developed. What have we developed? We have developed what is called as the life outside. That is now become better, more comfortable. AC we have put. Earlier fans, no, in the kings, etc. You must have seen, big fans were there. They used to do. Now what? Then they started using their own. Then they started using table fans. Then ceiling fans. Now AC. Now that is not sufficient. We put both AC fan together. That is also not sufficient. Therefore, we keep one fan in hand also. So all three are working at the same time. Why? Because we have got intelligence. We have used that intelligence and made our life better. But very few times we get this essential question of who am I? Actually, this is the question where we are supposed to use our intelligence in. Rather than finding different things of the world, we have to find out who am I. And for that, to guide our intellect in that direction, to understand or to get clarity on this question, we have all our scriptures. Whether you say Vedas, the Upanishads, whether you say Bhagavad Gita, whether you say Brahma Sutras, or all other texts also that we have, are supposed to lead us to this main inquiry of who am I. Bhagavan Bhashakara, Śaṅkarācārya ji, has composed many Prakarana Granthas, commentaries on the Prasthanatraya, etc. But this particular, if you want to say, you can call it as a text, but some people call it as stotra also. But this particular composition is a very unique composition. Why? Because it's a very short, 6 verses are there. Therefore, Shatkam. Shatkam means a group of 6 verses. And these 6 verses are talking about who am I. Actually speaking, it is not a text. Śaṅkarācārya ji is reveling in his own experience of who am I, and he is expressing his experience. That's it. Why I am saying this? Because it is often said in our sampradaya, in our parampara, that this is not the text which you should do shravana and manana about. This is a text of meditation. And therefore, we will see the language that Bhagavan Śaṅkarācārya has used is also very simple language. There is no complication. There not too much of thinking need not be done that, this word has got 2 meanings. Nothing like that. No such analysis is required. Simple meaning, simple composition, simple structure. You must have heard mano, buddhi, ahankara, chittani naham, na cha shrotra jivve, na cha grana netre, na cha vyoma bhumihi, na tejo, na vayuhu, chidanand. Very simple composition is there. Language wise also. Why? because it is supposed to help us in meditation. But what has happened is, since Shankaracharya ji till now, we have even downgraded ourselves. What do you mean by that? That even simple Sanskrit we do not understand. And therefore, this session is to help us understand the simple meaning. Please note, I'm not going to give some discourse or some exposition on this. This is not a text for that at all. Or some hidden meaning I am going to bring it out, or give different interpretations. Nothing like that is required for this verse, this composition. The only thing that we will see is what is the meaning, so that when those words are coming to our mind understands what that word is telling. That's it. We are only going to see what that word in Sanskrit means in English, so that we understand what are we supposed to do or what the composition is saying. Okay, this is a composition, as I said, is used mainly for meditation. And therefore, what we will also do during this session towards the end, we will actually do a kind of guided meditation based on that composition, so that we understand how to practice it, taking it forward. How can we use this same composition for our own sadhana? Right. Now, this text, which is Nirvāṇa-ṣaṭkam. Shatkam, we understood the meaning. Shatkam means 6 verses, group of 6 verses. Nirvana actually means enlightenment. Okay. The literal meaning says enlightenment. Actually, Nirvana means to put off. Okay, Nirvana means to put off. Lamp is there, no, you put off that light. That is called as Nirvana. And that is why many times the word Nirvana is also used for death. You might have heard this, no? Uska Nirvana ho gaya. He attained Nirvana. They can use it for death also. However, Nirvana word is also used for moksha, because it is putting off our ignorance. That liberation is also called as Nirvana. In Buddhist philosophy, in Buddha religion also, the word Nirvana is well known. They use the word Nirvana for moksha. Nowadays, you see the word Nirvana is taken lots of connotation. Nirvana, they call. They will do some drugs, etc., and they will call it as Nirvana. That is not the meaning in our scriptures at all. What it means is to put off our ignorance, so that we will realize our true self, our true nature. That's the real meaning of the word Nirvana. So Nirvāṇa-ṣaṭkam means 6 verses of enlightenment, 6 verses of realization, 6 verses of knowing. And because the main topic of the text is who am I, or this composition, which is called as Atma-ṣaṭkam, 6 verses on the self. Atma is self. Now, in these 6 verses, what Shankaracharya does is a very typical method that is given in the Upanishads. The method of negation and then assertion. Why this method is required? If you, in general, in common parlance, Vyavaharika Satta, in transactional reality, if you ask somebody, who are you? Each one of us will give our introduction, isn't it? Like at the beginning of this session, ma'am gave introduction for me also. Who is this person? Who am I? I am Brahmachari Ved Chaitanya. I have done this, I have done that, I have done this, I have done that. And we will give our own introduction also. Each one of us will. One usual way of, unique way of introducing also. We always say, I am originally from this place, basically from there. I don't know what the word originally and basically mean. Unoriginally, how can you be from some other place? But I'm originally from Maharashtra. Means I'm born and brought up there. People outside India will not understand this word originally. But we have our own way of introduction. So if you ask suddenly, who am I? We think I know myself. I am so and so. Now, what this composition tries to do is, it first tries to tell you that you are not what you think you are. So first negate What is your wrong understanding of yourself? You think you are this jiva who is born at a particular time and therefore right now is of a particular age. You think because that jiva was born in a particular family, therefore you belong to a particular religion and caste and creed, etc. You think that the body is me and therefore you belong to a particular gender. You think, no, all these things that we think about ourselves, that is not my true nature. And therefore, first thing that is done is to negate what I am not. So in each verse, for the first 5 verses, 3 lines will do the negation. I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. And the 4th line will do the assertion or affirmation. This is what I am. This is my true nature. Sorry. So in each of the first 5 verses, we will see there is negation in 3 lines and then the assertion. The last verse is entirely focused on affirmation or assertion. This is what I am. Aham nirvikalpaha, nirakara rupaha, vibhu, vyapya sarvatra, sarva indriyanam, etc. etc. Okay, so this is how Shankaracharya proceeds. This is, as I said, this is the method of Upanishads. In Upanishads also, we will find certain indicators to give the nature of the self, which will say, I am not this, I am not this, na iti, etc. And then there will be certain statements which will tell me, this is what I am. Divyo hi amurtah purushaha, sabhayabyantaro hi ajaha, apranaha, amanaha, shubbraha. Which Upanishad? Mundaka Upanishad. Mundaka Upanishad will say all these things. Now there, apranaha, amanaha means what? I am not the pranas, I am not the mana. Means what? I am negating. And then certain things, divyaha, I am that consciousness. You understand? So there is a negation and affirmation through which the self is, what do you say, revealed to us. So the same method Shankaracharya, Bhagavan Bhashyakara, applies in this composition. Let us chant the first verse. If you don't know, just listen. I will chant. Mano buddhya hankara chitta ninaham nacha shrotra jivhe nacha ghrana netre nacha vyoma bhumir na tejo na vayu chidananda ham shivoham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Manaha Buddhi Ahankara Chittani Na Aham. I am not the mind. Manaha. Buddhi, intellect. I am not the intellect. Ahankara, ego. I am not that also. Chitta is memory. That also I am not. So this manoha, buddhi, ahankara and chitta, manas, buddhi, ahankara, chitta, they are together called as antakarana chatushtaya. Our inner equipment. I am none of them. Nacha shrotra jivve. Shrotra means ears. Not this ears physical that we see, but the faculty of hearing. Indriya, shrotra indriya. Jīva, jīva means the faculty of tasting, not the tongue literally, but the faculty of tasting. Na grana netre, nor the faculty of smelling, nor the faculty of seeing, perceiving. That also I am not. In other words, the shrotra, jivha, grana and netra are referring to the 5 organs of perception, which we call as pancha jnanendriya, part of subtle body. Sukshma Sharira. So I am neither the Antakarana nor am I the Jnanendriyas. Okay, that's the meaning. Next, nacha vyoma bhumihi na tejaha na vayuhu. Vyomaha means space. Bhumihi, earth. Na tejaha, fire. Na vayuhu, air. By referring to 4, we understand the 5th one also, water. And I am not the 5 elements. Now we are talking about the subtle elements, tanmatras, from which the previous things are born. The subtle body, that is the Antakarana Chatushtaya, and the Jnanendriyas are formed from the subtle elements, 5 elements: space, air, fire, water, earth. That also I am not. I am neither the cause, the 5 elements, nor the effect, Jnanendriyas and Antakarana. I am not that. Then who am I? Chit Ananda Rupaha Shivaha Aham. Aham, I am Chid Ananda Rupaha Shivaha. That Shiva, now here again, when we say Shiva, please don't imagine immediately we are talking about, one who is sitting in meditation, white in color, Karpura Gauram, Karunavataram, and have Ganga ji coming out from his head, and Trishula is there, and Parvati ji is sitting there, and he has got 3 eyes, Trinetra, third eye is on his forehead, and snakes all over. Not that Shiva we are talking about. Shiva means auspiciousness. What is Shiva? That which is real is auspicious. We always say Satyam Shivam Sundaram. That which is Satya is Shiva. So that absolute reality, Satya, that I am. And what is the nature of that absolute reality, that Sat? The nature is Chit Ananda Rupaha. It is of the nature of consciousness bliss. That Sat, which is of the nature of consciousness bliss, that I am. In other words, I am Satchidananda Swarupa. I am of the nature of existence, consciousness, bliss. This is what I am. Now, when we hear this, Mana we understand, Buddhi you understand, ego, Ahankara understand, I. Okay. Chitta also, memory also, yeah, I did this, I did that, memory also. Jnanendriyas also I understand. Oh, Panchamahabhutas also I understand. But when it comes to this Satchidananda Swarupa, we don't know what to think of it. I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. Okay, there, up to that everything is okay. But when you say I am Satchidananda or I am that Chidananda Rupa Shiva, means what? So this is where the scriptures need to be studied and reflected upon. Shravana and Manana has to happen to understand the meaning of that last line. What is that Satya? What is that Chit? What is that Ananda? Only after listening and reflecting on it will we be ready to meditate using this particular composition. Okay? We don't have enough time to go deeper into what is Sat, what is Chit, what is Ananda, etc. Okay? Then we will be digressing from the main topic. Okay? So that's why we need to do Shravana Manana first and then realize this. So for now, even if I don't understand what that Satchidananda is, I should understand what I am not. The mind, the intellect, the memory, the ego, that I am not. Even that much understanding is sufficient at this level. Then what am I? Who am I? We will come to that. But I at least know who I am not. All right. So that is the first line. Okay. As I told you, I'm purposely not going deeper into each one. Okay. So that's not the purpose of this text. Right. Next verse, verse number 2. Nacha prana samnyo na vai panchavayuhu nava sapta dhatur nava panchakosha न वाक्पाणिपादं न चोपस्थपायु चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं. The aspect of knowledge was discussed in the previous verse when we studied that I am not the Jnanendriyas and the Antakarana. Jnanendriyas are also for knowing, and Antakarana is also for understanding what you have taken from Jnanendriya. Now the output aspect, the input aspect is over, now the output aspect. Na prana samnyaha panchavayuhu. The 5 kinds of airs, vital airs which are inside me, which are prana samnya, which are called pranas. So pancha pranas we say, no, prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. They are called as physiological functions also sometimes. The functions of respiration, excretion, circulation, reverse reaction, assimilation, digestion and assimilation. All these pranas also I am not. Panchavayu, the 5 kinds of air which are inside me. Why? Because many of us grew up watching, Bollywood movies, and every time somebody dies, the prana leaves. You must have observed, no? And the jyoti comes out from the eyes or from the mouth, and it is going. And they will use the words also, his pranas have left. And how do you know pranas have left? You put your finger under the nose. Is he breathing? No. Then pranas have left. So we used to think that I am these pranas. But that is not true. See, it is something like, again, another thing that we have learned from Bollywood movies. The doctor will take somebody for operation, and they will close that operation theater door, and one light will glow. You remember those lights? And till the time operation is going on, that light will be on. And when the light goes off, that means operation is over. Correct? Then they will open and they will come and whatever, successful, unsuccessful, whatever. Now, that light is not operation. It is indicator of whether operation is going on or not. Isn't it? That light is an indicator of it is not actually the operation. In the same way, pranas or the respiration, etc., what it is the indicator of life being there in the body. That is not life. Pranas are not life. Pranas means here the physiological functions. Those are not life. Those are the indicators of life. Many times that is me. Now Shankaracharya clarifies, nacha prana samnyo navai panchapai. Nava sapta dhatuhu. I am not even the sapta dhatus. See, that is why I was telling, we have gone so, we don't even know what are the sapta dhatus. Dhatu will mean so dhatu means metal. So not like that panchadhatu, some vigraha is made up of panchadhatu, like that saptadhatu. Here saptadhatu is not in the meaning of metal or anything. There are 7 things with which the body is made up of. Flesh, skin, fat, blood, muscle, bone, and bone marrow, and all that. That is called as saptadhatu. Even that I am not. Which means what? I am not the body. Generally, whenever we say, who are you? I. You will do like this. I. What are you referring to? This body. This is just skin. Inside that skin, there are muscles and bone is there and marrow is there, blood is there. That is not me. That is not me. For sure, it is not me. See, I'll tell you why. Because blood can come out of you. Have you come out of yourself? No. Nowadays, we know skin can be replaced. Plastic surgery. Skin goes, another skin comes. So you have changed. No, I am still same. The skin has changed. So even these 7 ingredients, with which the body is made, those ingredients I am not. In other words, I am not the body that I see. Nava saptadhatu. Nava panchakoshaha. Not even the 5 koshas. 5 sheets. The Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha, Anandamaya kosha. These different personalities that I have or that I feel, physical personality, mental and emotional and intellectual and spiritual, etc. That also I am not. Why? Because they are called as kosha. Kosha means covering. That covering is meant for something which is inside. I am that what is inside, not the covering. Nava saptadhatuhu, nava panchakoshaha. Na vak pani padam, na cha upastapayu. Now the 5 organs of action are mentioned there. Vak, speech, pani, hands, pada, feet, payu, anus, and upastha, genital organ. These are the organs or indriyas through which I act. Even those organs I am not. So this is, you see, the action, the output aspect. I am not the 5 pranas. I am not the gross body, the 7 components with which the gross body is made up of. I am not the 5 koshas. I am not the 5 organs of action also. Who am I? Chida. So if we see, actually the physical body, the gross body, and the subtle body, Sukshma Shara, both of them have been negated, completely negated. And by saying Panchakosha, even Karana Sharira is negated. Now what happens? When I say I am not this, then I should not have certain things. Based on what I think I am, I have a feeling what I have. For example, I am a father. If, example, okay, I am not a father. If I say I am a father, then I have a son. If I say I am a son, then I have a father. If I say I am a brother, then that means I have a sister. So with which I am, I will have something that I have. You understand the association? What I am, aham. Then there will be mama. There will be something that is my. If I am not the body and the mind and all these things, then I cannot have things that are associated with body, mind, and everything. That is what he explains in the next verses. Verse number 3. न मे द्वेष रागौ न मे लोभ मोहौ मदो नैव मे नैव मात्सर्य भावः न धर्मो न चार्थो न कामो न मोक्षः चिदानन्द शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानंद रूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं. Name dveshago. Now you see here, till now it was aham, nacha aham. From the beginning, if you see, mano buddhi ahankara chittani na aham. I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. Now here you see, na me. These are not for me, mama. I don't have them. What do I not have? Dvesha rago na. I don't have likes and dislikes. Okay, raga dvesha, dvesha rago. Okay, to get into correct meter. Name dvesha rago. Dislikes and likes I do not have. Na lobha moha me. I do not have greed and moha, delusion. Madaha naiva me. I do not have any pride. Na matsarya bhavaha eva. And not even the jealousy. Generally, we say these 6 are called as Shadripu. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. And that Kama, Krodha are coming from Ragadvesha. So sometimes Ragadvesha word is used for Kama, Krodha. They mean the same. Because what I have like for, I have desire for. What I dislike, I will be angry about. So Kama, Krodha itself is Ragadvesha. Or Ragadvesha itself becomes Kama, Krodha. So these 6 are considered to be mental problems. or mental thoughts which are not good. Now, since I am not the mind, I do not have all these thoughts. Why? Mind has all these thoughts, and I am not the mind. And therefore, I do not have likes, dislikes, desire, anger, greed, delusion, pride, and jealousy. I do not have them. Understand the logic? Because I am not the mind, so the things associated with mind, I do not have. Now, things associated with intellect, with which I keep the goal. Na dharmaha, na cha arthaha, na kamaha, na mokshaha. These are called as 4 purusharthas, the goals of human life. Dharma, righteousness. Artha, what you can call as wealth, prosperity. Basically, security. Kamaha, desire, lust, or even what we call as joy from the sense pleasures. And moksha, that liberation. I do not have even these things. Na dharmo, na charto, na kamo, na moksha. May is to be understood. I do not have these things. Then who am I? I am that Chidananda Rupa Shiva. So since I am not the mind and intellect, I do not have the characteristics or the things associated with those mind and intellect. That's this verse. Since I am not the organs of action and whatever does the activity, the next verse says, I am not associated with action at all. Why? Because I am not the Panchavayu, I am not the Panchapranas, I am not the body, I am not the organ of action. Therefore, I am not involved in any action. That is explained in the next verse. Na punyam, na papam, na saukhyam, na dukkham, na mantro, na tirtham, na veda, na yatnya, aham bhojanam naiva bhojam, na bhokta, chidananda rupa, shivoham, shivoham, chidananda rupa, shivoham, shivoham. Na punyam, na papam, na saukhyam, na dukkham. For me, there is no punya papa. There is no good action, bad action. The result of them also punya papa. And those punya papas coming into life is called as sukha and dukkha. Na saukhyam, na dukkham. That sukha dukkha is also not there for me. So I do not have results of action because I am not the performer of the action. Na mantraha, na tirtham, na vedaha, na yajnaha. Any kind of action, whether mantra means japa, chanting, etc. Tirtha means going to different places, tirtha kshetras. Na vedaha, study of scriptures, etc. Na yajnaha, and the ritual, etc. None of those actions belong to me. I do not perform any action. And therefore, I do not have any result of action. Aham bhojanam naiva bhojyam na bhokta. Actually speaking, you can say that you are not performing the action, but the action is being performed to you. Say, for example, I did not say anything to anybody, but somebody came and slapped me. But that is also not possible. Why? Because I am not even the receiver of anything. Bhojanam, here example is given that of eating. Bhojanam means the act of eating. The act of eating. Bhojyam, what I am eating. That's called bhojya. And bhokta, the one who is eating. And here it is said, I am neither the bhokta, nor the bhojya, nor the bhojana. I am neither the eater, nor the eaten, nor the eating. This is what in Vedanta we say Triputi. The subject, object, and experience. I am neither the subject, neither the eater, nor the object that which is eaten, nor the action of eating. I am neither of it. Means what? In any way, I have no connection with action. I am not even the doer, nor is any action happening to me, nor I am the action. I am not associated with action at all. Why? Because I am not the body. I am not the organs of action. If these are not there, if I am not this, then how can the action associated with them belong to me? The body is performing, the senses are performing. That is not me, they don't belong to me. That's the meaning. See, when these all ideas are there, we must understand in the right context also. Please don't feel that, oh, I am not the action, so I will go and slap somebody and say, I am not the one who is doing. Shankaracharya said that I am not the hands and legs. If you say like that, when the person comes and beats you also, you should not say anything, because you are not the body which is being beaten. Isn't it? You'll say, I will kill somebody, but I will say that I have not done anything. Why? My body has done. Very good, then they will punish your body. Then when they punish your body, they hang you, then you should not say, why are you punishing the body? Why? Anyways, you are not the body. The body has done something wrong, let it go through the result. Not understanding this correctly, people start doing wrong things. We should not do that. We must understand in the right context. This is at the level of meditation that I am saying, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. Okay. I remember one interesting anecdote. Somebody, Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananji, who established Chinmay Mission, he taught so many people and so many brahmacharis and sent to different places. Once one brahmachari came to meet Gurudev Swamiji in our Pavai ashram. Swamiji, Gurudev asked, how are you? And the person said, what can happen to Brahman? I am not this body, nothing. So Gurudev prostrated to him and went away. Why? No point in saying anything further. Why? The knowledge should be experiential level, not only for words. If you really think you are Brahman, why are you answering? The question is not asked to Brahman, no, question is asked to the ears. Let the ears answer. Why are you answering? The very fact that we use it for speaking is already what we call as impurring the knowledge. By the touch of our speech, it has become impure. So this should not be even used as an excuse, nor can it be just used as some kind of flashy things. No, it is for experience. This needs to be experienced. Okay, that clarity should be there. Right. Now we go to the last of this negation verses, the fifth verse, where already we have negated everything associated with the input and output, the faculties of input and output, and also the functions of those faculties. Now, any kind of duality that I may have, that is negated now. Na me mrityu shanka, na me jati bhedah, pita naiva me naiva janma, na bandhur na mitram gurur naiva shishya, चिदानंद रूप शिवोहम शिवोहम, चिदानंद रूप शिवोहम शिवोहम. Name mrityu shanka. There is no death for me. Why? Body is going to die. Please understand, when we say that there is no death, means there was no birth for me. The body was born, the body will die. And because there is no birth for me, na jati bhedah. There is no question of I am born in this caste, that caste. No. I am that Brahman. I am that self which has no jati, no death. Pita naiva me naiva mata na janma. And because I am not the body, I do not have father and mother associated with that body. And therefore, na janma, birth is also not there. I already told you mrityu and janma is coming together only. So I am neither born nor am I going to die. Because I am not born, because I am not the body, I do not have a particular jati. Because I am not the body, the mother and father are not mine. They are of body. Okay? Remember what I said just 2 minutes back. Don't use it for something else. When mother tells you, go and do something, you are not my mother. Don't do anything like that. Okay? She will give you nicely if you are younger, or she will send you out if you are elder. One of these will happen. This is not for use. In meditation, when I'm sitting, when I'm trying to understand my real nature, I have to negate even the mother and father. Why? Na bandhur na mitram, no relative I have, no friend I have. Guruhu naiva shishya. I do not have any guru, I do not have any shishya. Means what? I do not belong to the world at all. I have no relationship with anything of the world. I am just that self. Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. Now the sixth verse does only the affirmation. Who am I? Different words are used to point out what that nature of self is. Let us see. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupaha vibhurvyapya sarvatra sarvendriyanam sada me samatvam na muktir na bandha chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham aham nirvikalpaha. The interesting thing about affirmation is there is negation even in that affirmation. That's the nature of the self, what can be said. Aham nirvikalpa. Nirvikalpa means without any thoughts. Nirakara rupaha. I do not have a form. Vibhuhu. I am all pervading. Vyapya sarvatra. Pervading everything. Sarva indriyanam. Through all senses also I am there. Sada me samatvam. I always have equanimity. Means that self is always equanimous. It is same in every single thing, whether object or being. There is no difference. There is no gradation. Sada me samatvam. Na muktihi na bandhaha. I do not have liberation because I am never bound. Okay? That Chidananda Rupa Shiva, I am. This is the way that the affirmation also has to happen. Negation, affirmation both work simultaneously. Don't think that, first the negation will happen, then the affirmation. No, negation and affirmation is going to go simultaneously only. I have to keep saying, I am not this, I am this, I am not this, I am this. That has to happen simultaneously. And this is what we have to practice in our meditation. All right, I've just given you simple meaning of all the words so that when those words come to our mind, we understand what they mean. But as I said, we have to do Shravana and Manana before practicing meditation so that clarity will come. Otherwise, in the seat of meditation, when I say I am not the body, suddenly the question will come, how come I am not the body? Then that means Manana has not happened. Go back to the previous step, do Manana. This particular composition is for helping us in the practice of meditation, Nididhyasana, what is called. Okay, so now what we will do is we will actually practice meditation. So please sit in a comfortable posture. Whether you are sitting down or whether you are sitting folded legs or on school chair, etc., it doesn't matter. Make sure if you are sitting on the chair that your feet are on the ground, comfortable, and your back is straight. It's not leaning, at the back or not perpendicular to the ground. Don't have to lean on the backrest of the chair also. Maintain some distance. Keep the backbone straight. Keep your hands in comfortable position, either on your thighs, keeping on them, or interlocked fingers. Whichever is your way of sitting for meditation, you sit there. Gently close your eyes. Just follow the instructions that I will be giving. Please prostrate to your Ishta Devata whichever form of God you worship, your guru. Pray to them that we become successful in this practice of meditation. Take a firm resolve, sankalpa, that for next 10 minutes, I will not move my body, which will distract me from meditation. And during this time, I do not belong to the world. Focus your attention on every single sound that you can hear. It can be my sound. It can be any other sound coming from the surrounding, from people, from the outside world. Even the electronic sound of fan, AC, etc. Make a mental note of every single sound. Now slowly bring your attention to your body. Take your mind to every single part of the body, starting from the feet, toes, slowly, step by step. Take your mind to every single part. Mentally massage that part and relax it. Try to bring your entire posture in your mind. Look at yourself sitting as though you're observing from outside or from deep within yourself. Now slowly bring your attention to your breathing. Without changing the breathing pattern, just observe your breath. As you inhale, feel the breath coming in through the nostrils, passing through the throat, chest, going up to the lungs, and then it's coming out from the lungs to the chest, throat, and nostrils, out as you exhale. For next 1 minute, I will not give any instruction. Just keep observing your breath without changing the pattern of the breathing, without allowing any other thought to come in the mind. Now feel that your mind is calm and quiet. I will chant first verse of Nirvāṇa-ṣaṭkam. Just feel that verse, the ideas which are given in that verse, just try to experience them. मनोबुद्ध्यहङ्कारचित्तानि नाहम् न च श्रोत्रजिह्वे न च न च व्योमभूमिर्न तेजो न वायु चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्. I am not the mind, the intellect, the ego or the memory, nor am I any of my organs of perception. I am not even the tanmatras, the subtle five elements from which the subtle body has come, but I am that Satya, that absolute reality, truth, which is of the nature of consciousness, bliss. That truth I am. Chidanandarupa Shivoham Shivoham. Slowly bring your mind's attention to your breathing again. Slowly become aware of your body. Gently rub your palms. Keep them on the eyelids. Open your eyes. Take your palms to the entire body. This what we tried just for 10 minutes is what is called as practice of meditation nididhyasana. If possible, please continue practicing it. But as I said, Shravana Manana should be done properly so that it will help in this practice. As we saw, there are two aspects of this practice. One is the control of mind, for which we observe the sound, then we observe the body, then we observe the pranas. And then in that controlled and calm mind, you have to give these ideas, these thoughts. And these thoughts or these words should just float. No analysis, no thinking has to happen in that. Those words should just float and we should be able to experience. Okay. Wish you all the best for this practice of meditation. And I express my gratitude to Indica Moksha for giving this opportunity to reflect on this beautiful composition of Bhagavan Bhashyakara. We'll conclude with a small prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Thank you very much, Chaitanya ji, for this wonderful session. It's you guided us through the meanings and the imagery and made us reflect on it. And it's a wonderful takeaway for us. And we hope to practice this in at our homes and wherever we are. Viewers, we have many such wonderful sessions. Tomorrow we have the series on Manisha Pancharatnam by Swamini Sadvidyananda. So join us for this session.